Football and basketball are two of the biggest sports in the world, with them being played and watched by billions among billions of people across the globe. However, the two sports couldn't be any more different from each other, from the scoring system to the length of time you play to the limbs that you use, etc. etc. It's fair to say that they are two completely different sports. However, the focus of today's video is on how awards are given out in both sports, or at least the two biggest leagues in those sports, the Premier League and the NBA. The Premier League award system is very bare bones compared to the NBA, with it only having 5 individual awards given to players and managers, those being the Player of the Year in all its forms, Young Player of the Year, Golden Boot, Golden Glove, Playmaker Award and Manager of the Year, compared to the NBA, which has 19 individual awards, those being All-Star Game MVP, Rookie of the Year, MVP, Coach of the Year, NBA Finals MVP, NBA Eastern Conference Finals MVP, NBA Western Conference Finals MVP, NBA Cup MVP, Executive of the Year, Citizenship Award, Defensive Player of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, Most Improved Player, Sportsmanship Award, Teammate of the Year, Lifetime Achievement Award, Social Justice Champion Award, Clutch Player of the Year, and Hustle Award. So as you can see, they have a ridiculous amount of trophies. So as you can see, the Premier League has a pretty small and uniform award system compared to the NBA, which has a very diverse award system that recognizes many different roles, which is my goal for today. I want to highlight all the players that might not have gotten an award to show for their important contributions to their teams. Premier League only recognise the best of the best in their award system, but there are many players that might not have been the absolute best, but were great in their own little way. So I'll be combining the NBA's award system with the Premier League to answer the question, what would the Premier League look like with the NBA's award system? But before we hop in, let's establish a few rules. Number 1, I'll exclude all awards that either cannot be applied or are too similar to awards that are already in the Premier League. So all the MVP awards are excluded except for the regular season MVP, which I think it's very self-explanatory as to why they are. And the Coach of the Year is excluded because I think it's too similar to the Coach of the Year that's already in the Premier League. Number 2, it has to be strict to how the NBA decides their awards. So every criteria that they have, I'll apply to my decisions as well. I'll only circumvent this rule if the criteria is so strict I end up getting a really boring or isolated answer, like I have a very small sample size. So yeah. Number 3, the NBA has a 65 game requirement for awards, meaning that a player has to play at least 65 out of 82 regular season games to receive award nominations, which is 79% of games. 79% of 38 games played in the Premier season is 30. So to be nominated for an award, you have to have a minimum of 30 games under your belt. But this rule is excluded for a few of the awards, and I'll make sure to mention what awards when we come to them. And number 4, NBA awards are heavily stat-based. And when I say heavily, I mean very heavily. Like the eye test doesn't have much relevance in the NBA when deciding their awards. So the stats of a player are going to matter a lot in this video. And when I say a lot, I mean I'm going to mention a ton of different stats. But even though I'm going to mention a lot of stats, there aren't that many stats in football because we don't really use stats. Like the eye test matters a lot more. Obviously we use stats, but the eye test matters a lot more. So, and many actions in the game aren't recorded, so I'm not going to have a lot of stats to actually use in the video. So you got to bear with me because it is going to be quite difficult deciding these awards. Now, one last thing before we start this video. So you might have realized that this is for the 24-25 NBA and Premier League season. And you might be thinking, oh, those seasons passed a very long time ago. They passed months ago, so why am I making it? And you are correct to be thinking that. But there is a reason behind that. So pretty much, when I first started making the script for this video, that was around, I think, I'd say late March to early April, when the NBA regular season was ending and the Premier League season was ending as well. And then I started editing the video in, I think, June, preparing for it to be released in July. But while I was editing the video, I'd say I was a good 70 to 80% done with the video. Unfortunately, the entire video corrupted. The entire video file corrupted. And it corrupted at a very, very bad time because I literally had school right around the corner. I had work right around the corner. So it was just, everything just went wrong at the wrong time. So I had to abandon the video for a long time. Originally, I wasn't even going to release this video. I just because it took so long. But, I decided, yeah, you know what, let me just fuck it out. Let me just rush through this. And this video is very rushed. I'll be completely honest, this video is quite rushed. There are definitely some parts of the video that are way more in depth than the others. So this video, it isn't the best of my ability. I will be honest with that. However, here's what I'll do, okay? Because I do feel bad that I couldn't give you guys the best of my ability. So what I will do is, if you guys still like this video and give it a lot of attention, show your love, then not only will I make this video again at the end of the 25-26 season, and I'll make sure it's to the best of my ability. I'll get a better mic, that's for sure. But I will also go back to every single season in Premier League history and make the same video format. Obviously, it won't be in as much depth as this video because that would take forever. But yeah, I'll go back to every single season in Premier League history, make the same video. Now, the second thing is, like I mentioned before, yes, my mic is bad. I know my mic is bad. The guys in the comment section of my other video, the Luka Doncic trade video, if you haven't watched that, so you go watch that. Complained about my mic, and unfortunately, I still have this same garbage PS2 Nintendo GameCube mic that I got off Amazon for like £4. I apologize, my mic is still garbage. I've tried to use AI to correct the audio issues. Don't get it twisted, I didn't use AI to make voiceovers, that's just lazy. I just used AI to correct some of the background audio and the audio issues. But yeah, my mic is still unfortunately bad, so I apologize for that. But yeah, it is what it is. But anyways, enough yapping, let's actually get into this video. So I'm going to do the off the court awards first, but I'm not going to spend that much time on the off court awards. So we're going to start with the Social Justice Champion Award. The Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Social Justice Champion Award, an annual NBA award which honors players who are making strides in the fight for social justice. Now, the obvious pick for this award is Marcus Rashford. I'm guessing that's what most guys' first thought was when you saw this award as well. And to be fair, probably win this award every season. He probably win it every single season, to be completely honest. He's probably the GOAT of being a good person. Really and truly, he could win it every single season. However, this season, I believe there was someone who made a much bigger impact in the fight for social justice, and that's Mohamed Salah, who has contributed a lot to the Palestinian people, with numerous donations for aid and many messages on social media bringing light to the situation in Gaza. So he gets the award. Next, we have the Citizenship Award. Now, the Citizenship Award is an annual NBA award given to a player, coach, or staff member who showed outstanding service and dedication to the local community. The PFA actually has a very similar award called the Community Champion Award, which is given to one player, each English League club, each season for their contribution to their local community. Out of all the winners of the award in the Prem, I had to pick one and giving it to Eze. All the time he's invested in the Palace for Life Foundation. If you go for the Palace for Life Foundation YouTube channel, Eze appears in a lot of their videos, where he does activities such as helping at local schools, meeting with special needs fans, and training young academy players. This shows how passionate Eze is about his work with them, which is why he gets the award. The next off the court award is Teammate of the Year. So Teammate of the Year is an award in the NBA given to a player that best represents the league's ideal teammate. It exemplifies selfless play, commitment, and dedication to his team. I'm going to give this award to Heung-min Son for his loyalty to Tottenham. Son joined Tottenham 10 years ago, and he has quickly become one of the greatest players of all time. He has been world class for numerous years. But one thing Tottenham can never do is win silverware, which has made many of their players leave the club to search for it somewhere else. Even with interest from the likes of Bayern, Real Madrid, Al Nassr, and most recently Barcelona, Son has stayed loyal to Tottenham for many, many years now, never trying to force himself out of the club or entertain any rumours, which has finally paid off for him. Like, hey, I hate Tottenham, we all hate Tottenham. However, I think seeing him finally lift up silverware after so many years, like, you have to be happy for the guy. Okay, nobody can hate him. And yeah, besides his loyalty to the club, numerous people can give him a good character reference, with him being known as one of the nicest players in football and a positive presence in the changing room, which is why he gets the award.
Now, our final non-game award is Executive of the Year. Now, Executive of the Year is an award given to the NBA's top front office executive, as voted by other executives from the league's 30 teams. In the NBA, top front office executive is always the general manager, and in the NBA, the general manager is responsible for managing the team's roster. This includes signing players, contract negotiations, overseeing coaching staff, shaping the team's strategy and philosophy, etc. And the most equivalent role to a general manager in football is sporting director. The sporting director is a senior management figure at a football club. Their task is managing transfers of players to and from the team, contract negotiations, shaping the club's philosophy and strategy, managing scouts, overseeing player development, yada yada yada. So as you can see, the roles are very similar across both sports. So I'll be choosing the best sporting director as my Executive of the Year for the Premier League.
Now, since we've established what Executive of the Year is and the equivalent in football, with all this new information, I'm going to give the award to Ross Wilson and Ed Henderson from Nottingham Forest for their amazing recruitment. Nottingham Forest has an uncommon case where there are multiple directors, so I'm going to award both of them. So Nottingham Forest have turned their team from drop dodgers, like consistently being in the bottom half of the table, almost getting relegated every season, to almost an entirely new top 4 caliber team in the space of about 1 to 2 years. And this is heavily attributed to the amazing business Wilson and Henderson have done. Nottingham Forest have made numerous transfers this season, but the most significant have been Milenkovic for 12.3 million, Morata for 11 million, and Elliot Anderson for 41 million. So Nottingham Forest signed one of the best centre-backs in the world, absolute pennies, an amazing young, high-potential defender who's been a fantastic squad player for really cheap, and the most expensive signing they made being a future England international, maybe a future England captain, for just 41 million. This was incredible business from Nottingham Forest, and genuinely believe that Milenkovic transfer is one of the smartest transfers we've ever seen in the league. Like, they really got a Vidic region for the price of a Tesco meal though. Like, that is absolutely insane. Like, fair play to Ross Wilson and Henderson. They 100% deserve the award. Okay, so the first game award we're going to be looking at is Clutch Player of the Year. A Clutch Player of the Year is a trophy for the player who best comes through for his team in the clutch. In the NBA, clutch is considered the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter when the game score is tight. So pretty much who performs the best in these last 5 minutes when the game is close. For reference, the most recent winner, Jalen Brunson, leads the NBA in field goals made in the clutch with 52, points in the clutch with 156, and assists in the clutch with 28. This led to his team having a 17-11 record in the clutch, making them the 5th best team in the clutch. Now, for the Premier League, I'd consider the clutch the last 30 minutes of the game, which might seem early. However, that's when managers change their tactics and they make substitutions to prepare for the end of the game. So I feel that's a good spot to put like clutch. And to be honest, this is a very easy award to give. I would like to go very in depth into like all the stats and all the players that could possibly win this award, but this is a very easy award to give. Maybe the easiest that I'm going to give today. It's Salah by quite a margin. He has 12 goals in the clutch, which is by far the best. Like, it's much more than second. I forgot you second. Now, yeah, obviously watching him as well, you could see that he is quite clutch. For example, the Newcastle game, I think, was the first one, and the Brighton game, he was clutch in both of them. And yes, there's not much to say. Like, this is a very easy award to give. And to be honest, there's not really much point in mentioning anybody else. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give honorable mentions to a few other people that may not have been a clutch as solid this season. However, they definitely deserve an honorable mention for being extremely clutch. Now, the first person I'm going to mention for this award is Cole Palmer. Now, if I had to pick somebody to win the award last season, he would probably be my winner. He hasn't been as clutch as he was before this season, but if there is anybody that knows how to show up for the team when it is most important, it's him. And he has still shown many glimpses of his clutch in this season. So yeah, he gets an honorable mention. Bruno Fernandes is my second honorable mention. He has single-handedly saved United having to watch their team lose to Portsmouth and Stoke City back-to-back next season. Him turning up towards the end of numerous games has saved United from embarrassment numerous times. He gets an honourable mention. My third honourable mention is Jared Bowen. Similar to Bruno, West Ham could possibly be out of the Premier League if he wasn't so good in the clutch. He has saved numerous games for West Ham this season through his efforts in the clutch, so he definitely deserves an honourable mention. Now, the next game award we're going to be looking at is Most Improved Player. Our Most Improved Player is an award for the player that has shown the biggest improvement in their game from previous seasons compared to the current one. The main criteria for this award is number 1, dramatic overall and statistical improvement in the recipient's game compared to all their previous seasons. So players that have been bad recently but have had great seasons in the past wouldn't count. For example, Marcus Rashford wouldn't count even though he has slightly improved this season because he has been great in the past. Number 2, the role the recipient plays in the team. They have to be a starter and have big impacts on the team. So no guys that are riding the bench that have improved. They have to be a starter. And number 3, youngsters can't win the award. Well, technically youngsters can win the award. In the NBA they can win the award, but it makes it kind of unfair because most youngsters are expected to have drastic improvement. Like, they are expected to be extremely good in the future. So them improving a large amount over the season makes sense. And sure, there can be outliers, like for example, Phil Foden and Cole Palmer in the 23-24 season. They were like historically amazing. Like, they had historically like massive improvements. However, they were expected to make a big improvement. Like, sure, it was way bigger than expected, but the improvement was expected to be there. So it's kind of unfair to players that pretty much had like little to no signs or expectation to improve. So I'm going to exclude all young players with high potential or expectations from this award. So this season is probably the most difficult season to find a winner for the award because the distribution of quality players across all teams has been extremely even this season. So it was difficult finding a shortlist for this award because a lot of players have had breakout seasons. This is probably the award that has the most players with good cases to win the award. So if you disagree with me, just don't crucify me in the comments. Okay? If someone you wanted me to consider got snubbed, then it is what it is. But my shortlist for the award is Alex Iwobi, Jacob Murphy, and Damsgaard. Okay? And before anybody comes for me saying, where's Gravenberch or where's Caicedo? Okay, I need you guys to think. Okay? Caicedo was literally one of the best Brighton players not too long ago, and he costed 150 million. Okay, that comes with massive expectations. And Gravenberch was literally top 10, the golden boy, not that long ago. Okay, so just think. Okay, think about the criteria, because like I said at the start of the video, I'm going to be very strict to the criteria. Okay, so first I'm going to explain why Iwobi is part of my shortlist. So Iwobi has always been a slightly above average to just straight average player in the past for pretty much every club he's played in. Like, he's an impressive dribbler, but he's always had bad end product. He's always been a little bit inconsistent, but this season he has been great for Fulham. With 15 goal contributions for Fulham, the 12th most chances created in the league, 7.26 average rating. Compare this to his 7 goal contributions and 7.6 average rating from last season. He's improved quite a bit. He has greatly improved his end products and consistency, which is why he lands support in the team. His manager, Marco Silva, has greatly improved his game, putting him in a role where he can properly express himself, which has made him much more valuable on the pitch, which is why he's part of my shortlist. Next we have Jacob Murphy. Now, similar to Iwobi, Jacob Murphy was always just a decent squad player in the past, being a good but inconsistent winger. Many Newcastle fans preferred Almiron over him due to his inconsistency, and it looked like he was due to get replaced and either sit on the bench a lot or get sold before the start of the season. And he was about to turn 30, so it seemed like he hit his ceiling and he was only going to decline from here. But they were proven very wrong, because he has been great this season. With 20 goal contributions, second most assists in the league with 12, and he scored 8 times. That's a 7.23 average rating, greatly improving his consistency. Compare that to his 10 goal contributions with 3 goals and 7 assists last season. He has greatly improved his game. Very well get an England cap soon. And finally, we have Mikkel Damsgaard. Now Damsgaard was straight up trash before this season. He flopped at Sampdoria before he was given to Brentford for pennies on the dollar. Unfortunately, when he first joined Brentford, he struggled with onset arthritis, so he has had an incredibly tough recovery period. He has always had a career plagued with injury, and it showed on the pitch because he was terrible for Brentford. He did have a few good performances here and there, but it was in a sea of absolute dookie, so they didn't really stand out at all. But this season, he has had a drastic change in form. He has been great for Brentford with 10 assists, 12 most big chances created, 7.24 average rating, and received both Brentford Player of the Years, which is crazy that he won it on the same team as Mbeumo and Wissa, who have been incredible this season. Compare that to his 2 assists and 0 goals across 49 games in the last 2 seasons. It's clear that he has improved a ton. What really contributed to his drastic change in form was his improved athleticism, which was held back due to his injuries, and his new role as more of an advanced playmaker, allowing him to truly flourish on the pitch. Now, to decide a winner, I think if you're listening to what I'll say, you already know how I'm about to say. So for everybody else, I said they were either average or decent in the past before breaking out. But Damsgaard was the only player I said was straight up trash. And now he's probably the best player of all the players I've listed. Damsgaard had clearly the most drastic upgrade of every player, the most convincing context behind his improvements. Damsgaard by an absolute long shot. He's the winner, most improved player. So the next award that we're going to be going through is 6th Man of the Year. 6th Man of the Year, or 12th man in this case, is an award given to the NBA's best performing player for his team coming off the bench. They must come off the bench in more games than they start and consistently perform well off the bench and make a significant impact on their team's success. Pretty much choose the most impactful bench player in the league. For example, current number 1 candidate for the award in the NBA this season, Peyton Pritchard. He ranks first in points off the bench, 3-point percentage off the bench, most rebounds off the bench, and he has the 3rd most assists off the bench, which is a few of the stats that he's very prominent in. So he clearly makes a big impact when he comes off the bench. Okay, so now that we understand how the award works, here's where things get a little bit difficult, because it's very difficult to translate this award into football terms, because in the NBA you can come into a game and come out a game a few times, which is how bench players get so many minutes and play every single game. For example, Peyton Pritchard, the current number 1 candidate that I mentioned before, plays more than half the minutes in an NBA game, so he's off the bench more than he is on the bench. However, if you're subbed off in football, you stay off. The starters are going to get the vast majority of the minutes, and many times certain subs aren't even going to get used. So there aren't that many consistent super subs in the league compared to the NBA. even some of the best super subs of all time, like Solskjaer and Defoe, they rarely ever subbed into more games than they started in the season. So it's going to be very difficult to award this. So pretty much there are very little players that subbed into more games than they started and consistently performed well. So we're just going to scrap the minute rule and the game rule, and we're basically just going to pick the best super sub in the league, because otherwise the sample size would just be very, very small and it would just be very boring and isolated answer. So my 3 candidates for the award are Rodrigo Muniz, Wataru Endo, and Morata. And let's see each player's case. Now the first player that we're going to go through is Muniz. Now Muniz plays for Fulham. I know what you guys might be thinking. Okay, why am I picking Muniz when Fulham low-key have better super subs than Muniz? They have Adama and Harry Wilson. And to be fair, like, yeah, they've been great super subs. Okay, but I'm still picking Muniz over the both of them. Yeah, I do believe Muniz has been a better super sub than the both of them. Okay, let me explain why. Okay, this might be a horrible take. Okay, you guys might turn off the video right now. Yeah, I know you guys might be seething. Some of you guys might be seething right now. This might be my worst take of the entire video. Okay, if you haven't clicked off already because of my horrible editing, or the fact that this is for the 24-25 season when that was over like 5 months ago, or the fact that my voice sounds like a pubescent child that stutters a lot, then you might click off because of this take. And you know what? Here's what it is. Okay, let me make my case. Muniz is the highest scorer off the bench this season. He has 6 goals and 1 assist coming in as a sub in 23 games. With all those goals and assists being against some of Fulham's toughest competition, them being scored against either the traditional Brand Big 6 or the current Brand Big 6, making him an elite big game player, even though he's a bench player, which is a pretty insane feat. Okay, I know he has consistency issues. However, when you need him most, he's there, which is why I'm picking him over Harry Wilson and Adama Traore. Next, we have Endo. Now, Endo has been nothing short of incredible for Liverpool off the bench. He is genuinely the Japanese Kante. Like, as a Liverpool fan, never seen him come off the bench at the 80th minute. No, rest easy. He definitely is the best 6-man individual. Like, out of all the super subs in the league, he is probably would be the best. If they all started for their team, he'd probably be the best. The only thing that hurts his case is the fact that, even though he has been very quality off the bench, barely played all season. Only 144 minutes all season. And that's mostly because Slot puts him on around like the 80th minute. Or other 6 men, or 12 men super sub, whatever, they come on around like the 60th minute, 70th minute, maybe even like half time or like 50th minute. But Endo comes in like quite late into the game, so he doesn't actually get that many minutes to show off his quality. So he only has like over a match and a half of playing time, even though he is, I'll still say he is the most consistent and highest quality 12th man in the entire league, which is why he still gets the nomination. Next, we have Morata. Now, like I mentioned before, for Executive of the Year, Morata has been a really good signing for Nottingham Forest. Absolute bargain signing for Nottingham Forest. He has incredible defensive prowess. Like, he's been really good at the back. Been a really good defender. He has great physicality. Guy's absolutely massive. He's like 6'4". He still moves like a proper athlete. He has pretty solid technical abilities as well. He's a pretty solid passer, pretty solid link up. And all these stuff have just made him the perfect super sub for Nottingham Forest. Like, genuinely, it's no wonder why Nottingham Forest have the most clean sheets in the league. They have Morata coming on in the last 30 minutes of every game. Like, he's a true anchorman. Fully deserves the nomination. Now, to decide who the winner actually is, So Menez is a talisman that will come off the bench as the hero that will save the game for you. Whether you're getting your team a win or getting your team a draw, either way, they'll get something out of the game for you in the clutch. So all the team's efforts will not put to waste. Or Endo, Marato, or the Anchorman, they will win you the game. However, if you are ahead and you want to stay ahead, they will come off the bench and you will see the game out for you. No troubles, no worries. If you're ahead, they will make you stay ahead. And they tend to have a lot more consistent performances than the talisman as well. Like, that's probably Menez's biggest criticism. Like, he is quite inconsistent. So, really it is up to who you guys prefer for this one. If you prefer the Anchorman that will see the game out for you, or a talisman that will come off the bench and win you the game possibly. And me personally, I much prefer somebody that can change the game, which is why I picked Rodrigo Menez as my 12th man of the year. He's just been ridiculously clutch this season. Like I said before, all his contributions have gone against some of his team's hardest opponents. So he has stepped up for his team in some of their hardest games they had to play in the season. And for me, that is what number one super sub is. That's what number one super sub should be doing. But like I said before, it comes down to preference, to be completely honest. Like, you could go with really any of these guys and it would make sense. So, tell me down in the comments, who do you guys prefer? For a talisman off the game, to come off the bench and clutch up the game for you? Would you prefer an Anchorman to come off the bench and see the game out for you? So yes, Rodrigo Menez is my winner of the award. 6th man of the year, 12 minutes. We'll say 6th man of the year. Now next we have Defensive Player of the Year. Now the Defensive Player of the Year trophy is awarded to a player who has demonstrated the most outstanding defensive performances during the season. Criteria to win the award is having a great overall defensive impact on your team. It's not just being a great defender individually. How you communicate with your team on defense, you cover certain teammates' mistakes and inabilities, etc. There's also defensive statistics. How are you doing certain defensive stats? In the NBA, the main defensive stats are blocks, defensive rebounds, steals, and defensive rating. However, the defensive stats aren't that big of indicators of how good a player is on defense. Numerous players who didn't have the best defensive stats have won the award before, such as Marcus Smart and Kawhi Leonard. And there are many players who had pretty monstrous defensive stats, but weren't even close to winning the award. So this leads me on to my next criteria, the eye test. DPOI is probably the only NBA award that has a strong reliability on the eye test, which plays impact on the field. Defensive stats don't cover everything you'll see on the game defensively. DPOI relies strongly on the eye test. And finally, team success. The team doesn't necessarily have to have a good record, but rather they have to be one of the best defenses in the league. You've got to show your impact in your team on the defensive end. In the NBA, the vast majority of DPOI winners were in the top 5 defensive team minimum. For example, last year's winner was Rudy Gobert. And Rudy Gobert is one of the best defenders of all time. Last year was his 4th DPOI award. This year he averaged the 6th most blocks in the NBA with 2.1, 4th most defensive rebounds in the NBA with 9.2, the lowest defensive rate in the league for 104.4. Now in the NBA, the lower your defensive rating is, the better. But other than his extremely good stats, he passes the eye test with flying colours. Defensive impact on the court is extremely high due to his towering height of 7'1", and long wingspan of 7'7". His ability to guard the rim is incredible, and catching rebounds against him is pretty much hopeless. His other frontcourt partner at the time, Anthony Towns, doesn't have the best defense, so he had to cover for many of his defensive shortcomings. And his own shortcoming, his biggest weakness on the defensive side, is his lateral quickness and his perimeter defense. But due to his massive build, he still has decent ability to guard all positions. Defensive prowess and leadership made towards the number 1 defense in the NBA that season. They definitely deserve the award. For my candidates for the award, I chose Milenkovic and Van Dijk. Now, many of you will be surprised that I didn't include Gabriel. Even though Gabriel has been better this season, I do admit I think he has been the best defender this season. Doesn't qualify due to the game award rule. Yes, I know it's harsh, but it is needed. Okay, I'm going to explain why it's actually needed. Okay, you guys probably think, yeah, this rule is BS, but I think it's actually very essential. Okay, in the games Gabriel missed, we had 4 wins, 5 draws, and a loss. Most of those games being towards the end of the season. This poor stretch of games almost caused Arsenal to lose Champions League qualification. And I know it isn't the Premier League, but Arsenal got dominated by PSG in the UCL while he was gone. And I'm sure if he was there, it would affect the result of the game, or both games. It shows why there is a minimum game rule in place. The best ability is availability. And not having that will make your team suffer in your absence. Okay, but enough yapping. Let's get back to the topic. So, Milinkovic has been incredible for Nottingham Forest. What really makes him one of the best defenders in the league is his physical strength. Milinkovic has a massive build, 6'4" and weighs 90 kilos. He uses that build to his advantage so well, absolutely bodying the opposition attackers. His tall build has made him an aerial threat, winning over 70% of his aerial duels. He has great reactions and flexibility, having 24 blocks and a 57% tackle success rate. Last season, Nottingham Forest had the 14th ranked defense in the league, with 67 goals going past them. With the addition of Milinkovic, they became the joint 6th ranked defense, 46 goals conceded. I know that it's outside of top 5, however, because of the massive turnaround, massive impact he's made in the defense, I think he still deserves to be in the award. Nottingham Forest have a pretty round defense. There will not really be any bad players, so I can't really say that he's covering anybody's bad defense or defensive mishaps. However, he's made a massive impact on their defense, so he definitely deserves a mention. Next, we have Van Dijk. Van Dijk has been great for Liverpool as well. He's been an anchor at the back for Liverpool with a 53% tackle success rate, 190 clearances, and 252 duels won with a 69% success rate. He's incredible in the air, with 119 aerial duels won, 72% aerial success rate. That's 56 interceptions. I think you guys get the idea. He absolutely dominates statistically. But what really sets Van Dijk apart is his leadership and communication. Liverpool have had a lot of problems with their backline this season. Okay? Like, on paper they look very good, however they have a lot of problems. Robertson has been pretty poor this season. Bernardi has had injury issues, and Trent has always been a very inconsistent defender. Liverpool are the 2nd defense in the league, 41 goals going past them. This is largely attributed to Van Dijk's defensive contributions and leadership. As the captain, people might not know is that Van Dijk was the most out of every defender in the league, 76.6% of his time on the field being spent walking. This is because Van Dijk has incredible positioning. He doesn't need to run too much. Instead, he anticipates where his opponent will go. He communicates very well with his team. Plus, he is absolutely rapid and he's very, very strong. He knows he has a lot of leeway to wait a little longer than others before reacting when the player is trying to go past him, which allows him to be a way more methodical when defending. This is what has set Van Dijk apart from other defenders for the past 8 seasons at Liverpool, which is why he is my DPOY. Now next up, Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year is an annual award given to the best newcomer in the NBA. The criteria for this award is pretty simple. It would just be the best rookie in the league. Now this one's a bit of a weird one, because in the NBA, you would Rookie of the Year at any age as long as you're a newcomer. So if we were to put this in Premier League terms, guys like Milinkovic and Marino, who are in their prime age, I think they're both 27 or 28, be eligible to win the award. But in the NBA, it is mostly drafted players that win it, which are mostly young guys that are in their late teens to early 20s. So, realistically, Milinkovic should win the award by far. I want to make this video fun and interesting. So I'll explain who I think will win it, or just under 21 ballers with no prior Premier experience. So fortunately, there are actually a good amount of under 21 rookies that are eligible to win this award, because there's no game limit for this award. So guys like Miles Lewis Kelly, who have only played 14 games so far this season and aren't able to reach the game limit, are still eligible to win the award. So my candidates for the award are Dean Hodgson, sorry if I butchered that name, Cuba Minte, Lucas Bergvall, and Miles Lewis Kelly. And one more thing, we're going to use a lot of per 90 stats because of the Prem, obviously young players don't tend to get a lot of minutes compared to the NBA, where a young player could easily become a starter. Now first off, we're going to start off with your Cuba Minte. Now your Cuba Minte is one of the biggest attackers in the league. Crazy fast, top speed of over 35 km an hour. Really strong, and able to withstand bumps and pressure, and one of the biggest defenders in the game. He has 5 goals and 4 assists so far this season, making him one of the most prolific rookies, and he has some of the most touches in the opposition box, for 163. Even while he is a beastly attacker, defense is also really good for his position. 1.7 tackles per 90, 73% tackle success rate, and he's in the 80th percentile for defensive actions. And although he is primarily a winger, he can play at the back as well. Probably his best forms all season, and then he was a right back against Chelsea, where he got a double. This guy is just ridiculously talented. Next up we have Dean Howson. Yep, I searched hard to say his name. Dean Howson is literally one of the best defenders in the league. Even in Bournemouth's bad form as of recent, he's still been one of their better players. He's got 7.2 average rating, top 5 for interceptions per 90, 1.9, top 3 for clearances per 90, 7, top 10 for blocks per 90, 1.1. Bro, he's a fantastic defender. What really sets him apart isn't even his elite defense, it's his ball playing. He's top 3 for accurate long balls per 90, he's in the 19th percentile among centre backs for progressive carries. If you see him play, you'll see he's ridiculously silky on the ball. He passes so well, though he's a 6'6" centre back. Like, he's an absolute freak in nature. Next up, we've got Lucas Bergvall. Now, Bergvall is a seriously talented midfielder. He's the best player on Spurs. You might think that it isn't that hard to be the best player at Spurs, but they are horrible. And sure, you might be right. They have struggled hard this season, but they are still a team that has the likes of Son, Solanke, Kulusevski, Madison and Sarah at their disposal. For Bergvall to be the standout on a team with those names is extremely impressive. He has some good stats, but compared to the other people in this list, he doesn't have that many standout stats. He has some good passing stats with, I think, 88% pass success rate, 67% long ball accuracy. He can defend decently, getting 1.8 interceptions a game, which is actually really good, and he's in the 87% percentile for defensive actions. However, he barely has any goal contributions, and average rating is like really low, like 6.8. However, I think the context of the situation makes up for his lack of statistical significance. So out of all the players I mentioned, he plays for by far the worst team, so it's hard for him to rack up certain stats when his team makes it hard for him, especially since he's a midfielder as well, and he doesn't play that many minutes. Last, but certainly not least, we have Miles Lewis Kelly. Miles Lewis Kelly has been extremely good for Arsenal as the left back. He's been defending like he has years in the game, him not being driven past once this season. I remember when the entire media was gazing the hell out of Van Dijk, he got driven past a few years back. So for a 19-year-old rookie with that same record this far into the season is nuts. Even if he has played a lot less minutes, that's still a crazy record to hold. Even if you put aside his defending, he's still really good. He's the 4th highest pass success rate in the league this season, 94%, and he wins around 2 fouls per game. So not only is he a good defender, he holds his own quite well on the ball. For a 19-year-old rookie to be showing these levels on the pitch is crazy. Not only that, but the other rookies I mentioned all played professionally before, just in different leagues. However, Miles Lewis Kelly is the only true rookie. He's the only professional football rookie on this list. This is his first ever Premier League season. So for him to be doing this in his first ever professional season in the hardest league in the world, you need that. But he's playing out of position as well. He's a midfielder, and he's playing left back, and he's showing these levels on the pitch. Are you kidding? This guy is friggin' just super talented. Showing levels on the pitch. He's insane. Now, to actually decide who gets the award. So this is an extremely talented cohort of players. Like, all these players have a great case to win the award. If you guys, I'm about to say who I think should win the award right now, but if you guys disagree, I think it should be one of the other players I mentioned, and I completely hear it, man. You know, Dean Howson, he's an elite level centre back. Bergwall, one of the only standouts for Spurs. Minte, he's been a beast on both ends of the pitch. Lewis Kelly, he's been showing levels, he's been an object in the back. But with all that said, I mean, Dean Howson is just something else, man. He has been great this season. The levels he has shown at such a young age is crazy. He's definitely going to be one of the best players in the world very, very soon. So with that being said, Dean Howson, he's like my number one honorable mention. If it was like just under 21 players, he would be the winner, but Milenkovic still gets the award. So yeah. Okay, now before we go into the next award, I just want to say that what you're about to hear is mostly going to be in present and future tense rather than past tense. The reason why is because for this award, this is one of the few awards that didn't actually corrupt, or one of the few voice lines that didn't actually corrupt with the other video. So I just reused them. So a lot of the stuff that you're going to hear is going to be in like present or future tense. However, most of the information is still pretty accurate. If not, then I'll just like put something on the screen that will show if it's not accurate anymore. But yeah, now for the moment we have all been waiting for, the MVP award. Now the MVP award is given to the most outstanding player of the NBA regular season, who is not only head and shoulders above the rest of their team, but the entire league in general. A lot of people have different ways of determining the MVP award winner. Certain characteristics of every award winner is: number one, statistical dominance, leading your team and the league in numerous stat categories. Number two, having a massive impact on your team. You have to have a good team record, heavily affected by your presence. Number three, great consistency, having the same high level performances throughout the entire season. Number four, convincing narrative behind your team's success. Now let's look at the two current leading MVP candidates in the NBA. Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Okay, we're going to start with Jokic. Now, Jokic is top 3 in numerous stat categories, including points with 29.6, rebounds with 12.7, assists with 10.2, steals with 1.8, and a bunch of other stats I won't mention because the list is very, very long. Jokic's Nuggets currently have the 5th best record in the league, 47-29 record. The Nuggets have won 67% of their games with Jokic, and have only won 36% without him. And we have no All-NBA or All-Stars or award winners on their team. So he clearly makes a massive impact on the team with his presence. And while there are numerous stats that can express a player's consistency, I believe the main two are player efficiency rating and average game score. Jokic has not only the highest PER in the league with 32.1, which is actually the most of all time as well. He also has the highest average game score, 30, which puts him first in the league. The narrative behind the Nuggets? Well, Jokic and the Nuggets have defied a lot of odds to be in the position that they are currently in. It's already a surprise when they managed to win the NBA championship 2 years prior. For such a small market team, no other All-Stars or All-NBA players have been so good, it's insane. This is heavily attributed to Jokic's masterclass in offensive play, being practically unstoppable on the offensive end. He elevates his team massively for his genius basketball IQ. He's gotten the best out of a roster that would be seemingly hopeless without him. Now, SGA on the other hand, well, SGA leads the league in points with 32.6, box plus minus with 12.1, win shares with 16.7. He is also an elite two-way player, leading the league in defensive win shares of 4.8, having the lowest defensive rating among point guards, 107.4. SGA's Thunder have the best record in the league so far, 63-12. They are on track to have one of the best seasons in NBA history and keep a good record in the last few games. OKC would have only played one game without SGA so far, so there is a much to go off if they would be a good team without him. However, on paper, they have one of the best rosters in the league, with an all-star, and Jalen Williams, 2 all-defensive players, 2 of the best young talents in the league, and a very deep bench. So they definitely would be still very good without him. But what's different about SGA's impact is that he's elevated OKC from a good team to one of the best teams of all time, breaking records and dominating the court all year round. And SGA is second in the league, PER, and average game score 30.6 and 27 respectively. And narrative-wise, like I mentioned before, SGA has elevated OKC from a good team to one of the greatest teams ever assembled. This is heavily attributed to his elite scoring and two-way play, having pretty much no weaknesses in this game and being great at every aspect of this game, unless you count like the egregious foul baiting as a weakness. But I mean, me personally, I say if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. OKC are favourites in the NBA championship this season and are projected to be a dynasty in the future. SGA at the forefront, rightfully so. We have seen very few teams dominate the skill. Okay, now before I show the Premier League MVP candidates, I need to make it clear, being an NBA MVP does not necessarily mean being the best player in the league. You can be an NBA MVP and not be the best player in the league. You can be the best player in the league and not the MVP, and you can also be the best player and the MVP. So just keep that in mind going forward. Now, I'm sure the first person you guys' minds, Salah. I would have to agree with you. Salah leads the league in goals, assists, expected goals, big chance created, and expected goals and assists. And he is in the top 3 for numerous other stats that I've mentioned, but just like Jokic, the list is very, very long. Liverpool are still a good team without Salah. Numerous world-class players, Gravenberch, Dyke, Szoboszlai, Alisson, etc. So they aren't necessarily a bad team at all without him. They're actually a very good team without him. His impact is still monumental, him being involved in over half of Liverpool's goals, making them the best scoring team by a margin. And now, finding a stat that shows consistency in the Premier League or in football in general is kind of tough, but say the stat that shows the consistency and the weight of your performance the highest is probably average rating. Salah has the highest average match rating of anybody in the league, with 8.29. I'm pretty sure he's the only person that's above an 8 as well. Narrative-wise, Liverpool have had many doubts of their coming into the season, projected to fall off their new manager Arne Slot, a drastically different playstyle from their performance manager Klopp, relatively old squad with their average age being 26.7. Also made no significant signings during the transfer window. That Liverpool have overcome their expectations and dominated the league table. It's heavily attributed to Salah, who has flourished under Slot's tactical excellence, making him an offensive juggernaut, scoring and assisting at an insane rate, on his way to possibly the first 30-20 season in Premier League history. Okay, now for the next candidate, well, to be honest, there kind of isn't really one, to be completely honest. I mean, when I first made the script, it was when Palmer was still on good form, and I thought him and Salah would be neck and neck, like it was going to be a tight race by the end of the season. However, obviously Palmer, he had that massive drop in form, a massive drop in quality. So, to be completely honest, it's Salah by quite a margin. He's won the award quite easily. Like, Salah is simply having a historic season. He's first for both goals and assists by a massive margin. He's probably going to have the first ever 30-20 season. He's 12 points ahead of the team behind him. That is, he has an 8.29 average rating, which is just friggin' insane levels. And to be completely honest, that 8.29 rating is probably going to fall off towards the end of the season. If you can keep it above an 8, then an 8 or above, then that is still a good rating. He is playing as if you put Jokic on that OKC roster. Like, this is pure and utter dominance what Salah is doing right now. It's absolutely insane. Like, the way I see Salah and Palmer, I see Salah more as Shea, where he's elevating a good team to a great team, and Palmer, who's more like Jokic, who's elevating a bad team to a more to a good team, elevating a bad team to a good team. That's thought like the dynamic that I thought they would have. However, obviously, Palmer, he fell off, and just Salah just ran away with it. This is pretty much all I have to say. I mean, Salah is he's the winner by quite a margin. And I know you guys might be thinking of other players as well, like for example, Saka, but Saka, he didn't even reach the game limit, and Bruno Fernandes as well. He was also very valuable for Man United, but they were literally like 50th. Like, yeah, they didn't have a good record, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, Salah is just he's just he's just him, man. He's the MVP by quite a margin. Okay, we're gonna have a bonus round now, which is honors. Now, these aren't necessarily like real awards. They're kind of like team of the season. However, the NBA has like more than a few variations of the team of the season award. So we're just gonna go through them. This is not like a real award. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna put the teams on the screen, and you guys can decide if it's valid or not. If you disagree, then just say in the comments. I'm not gonna deep dive into it. I'm just gonna put it on the screen.